board throughout the game because it always got dealt with one way or another. So there's a good
That's
game for
true.
Crawler there.
So game
Up
two
next is Sottle.
is this Sottle? Yeah.
Yeah, Sottle's up next.
Mech Mage.
So Mech Mage was kind of a must pick, we figured, because it's so strong right now, and it had been performing pretty well before we did this match in other tournaments. So we took up Mech Mage as kind of an instant pick.
It's probably also the only deck that is faster than Paladin's quicker openings.
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to get
And
on the
this
board
is
first.
and this is quite a clunky hand for Mech Mage. He's got his Antonidas a bit too early. We haven't seen any Mech Warpers, any Annoyatrons. So he draws an Azure Drake as well. So it is a very clunky hand for a Mech Mage. And
It is.
Mech, Mech Mage is a class which is quite prone to this sometimes, I find. From playing it myself, we just draw like Boom, Doctor Boom, a 4-drop, and something else. You're just like, oh, that's nothing. Like, what am I going to do with this? You want to establish as much tempo as you can at the start of the game with Mech Mage.
Now, going for the Yeti makes sense because it plays around Consecration. The question
Yeah.
is, do people play around Zakoto? Well, no, and you couldn't even play around Kodo here, but yeah, this is a Kodo. Also, you guys may notice there is a redemption on the side of that. Yeah, we managed to convince him to bring it down to 1, and
How did you convince him that Crawler is Mr. Redemption?
basically we were saying to him it's just like it's a bit clunky, and in one training session it worked out quite well, but then when we ended up playing the match, he'd cut down to 1, so I'm guessing something got through. But Redemption is actually one of those cards where no one plays around it. It's
Crawler's been using Redemption since I met him. I'm pretty sure.
apart from people that know him, I guess.
I mean I don't I as a player like in a team for example, he's the only player I know who plays it. It's kind of his trademark. It's the Crawler trademark Redemption.
It works. It does in
Yeah,
fact work.
I have played him in tournament and it had caught me by surprise. And I'm pretty sure when I played him in tournament, the Redemption brought back a cane or something like that. So
Yeah,
it
or
was
Sludge
it was pretty
Vulture is
scary.
pretty brutal. Now, what is this turn? That's the good question here. I think this is a Loatheb, to be honest.
Yeah, low feb's pretty good. I mean, at the moment, the board can't deal with the Yeti, and the board wouldn't be able to deal with a low feb. But a spell will swing that, so the best play here is definitely lower feb.
Now, I've got a feeling you guys don't. I think you played Drake, if I remember. Yeah, I think you played Drake. Yeah, there's the Drake. I remember this.
But this is us not thinking Hammer of Wrath would be a thing.
Yeah, but
Which I
Loatheb was
think is
still
what
better.
happens now.
But
Low feb
anyway,
is still better. Yeah, I would say definitely say low feb is still
everyone makes
better.
misplays, especially
In
in
hindsight.
hindsight. So this is Hammer of Wrath and then probably Redemption.
Yes. And the Hammer of Wrath cleans up the Drake quite nicely with the token, and then you play the Redemption, and that coda might just show up again.
Yep, showing up twice on one copy of a card. Yeah, the funny thing is that we knew that you guys had played against him before, so we were thinking we can play Redemption, but we have to kind of maybe telegraph it as a
I
possibility of
think
something else.
in hindsight, subtle, I think Redemption might have been a bit better because it would have stopped him from consecrating if he wanted to. We didn't know he had a Hammer of Wrath at the time.
Redemption would have been better. Loatheb would have been better, you mean? Got Redemption on the brain. Yeah, this is the attack on the Mech Yeti is simply because it stops things like Fireball Ping just to kill both cards. And I mean, you can still do that, but then you have a 4-2 instead of a 4-5, and 3 damage does not matter that much.
But then I think the lower feb is better knowing that Hammer of
I
Wrath is in
think
the
it was
hand.
better in general, to be honest, because it also, like, what about Consecration? That was the other thing. Like, just Consecration basically just kills one, then heavily damages the other one. Like, a 1 HP guy against Paladin is pretty bad because of the...
Yeah, Sottle's got a good point. Low Feb does protect the board from Equality Consecrate later on. I mean, that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to set up the lower Feb to protect your whole board.
Maybe.
If he ever develops it, because he had a really slow start. I mean, again, the Mech Warper now is pretty decent.
This Frostbolt makes sense, and then the Mech Warper lets you get down 2 guys, which is pretty handy. Let's see. On this particular turn, oh, double Consecrate? Well, then snap off the Consecrate as far as I'm concerned. That was a pretty awkward turn because you have to use Consecrate, but getting the second one is handy. So this is just hero power. Yeah, consider the silence, but hero power.
Yeah, you want to save the silence something else.
Right. That boom. This looks like, yeah, this is the lower Theb coming down here.
So this protects the Mech Warper from anything really, because you're not going to be able to, apart from muster for battle. It's the only pretty much the only. Well, they can't even muster.
Can't even play muster.
No. So you can't even muster. The only thing that can deal with the
Cog Hammer.
Deal with the Mech Warper is a Cog Hammer, True Silver.
No True Silvers come up yet, and I can safely say that they are in Crawler's list. There are True Silvers in this list, just haven't shown up. Arguably the best Paladin card.
So Dr. Boom's good here.
Now
we do see the Consecrate in hand, but Dr. Boom makes Consecrate a bit awkward.
If I recall correctly, this is where it gets a bit dumb. Yeah, this is a Big Game Hunter Consecrate no matter which way you look at it. You want a Big Game Hunter first because you don't want to take a bunch of damage because then you're dead to Fireball. So this was the turn where we were thinking, yeah, it should be fine. 3 guys on the board, and then only 2 boom bots, and the chances are like 1 in 3, and then they both need to hit, like either both need to hit face or it needs to be at 4 damage, and it was pretty, yeah. I think you guys will see what's going to happen here. So where are the boom bots gonna hit? And 4 to the face.
Which setups lethal quite nicely.
Even if it was 3, it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, that's the nature of boom bots, unfortunately.
This is like situations like that are why some people don't like GBG. It's just when it's just like boom bots.
I mean, to be fair, Salt is such a clunky hand to start with.
Yeah, it was, but it's just kind of funny that a game ends like that.
Yeah,